What's going on, y'all? I'm Michael, owner of Limitless Automotive, right here in Ennis, Texas. Today, we're going to dive into something that literally saves lives every single day: your brakes. Most people do not think about their brakes until it's too late, when they fail. And at that point, they're stuck with a major bill. So, I'm going to break down the top 5 things that you need to look out for when it comes to your brakes, because it's better to fix it whenever it's just a maintenance item versus fix it whenever it's a big repair. So, if your brakes start squealing, that's warning sign number one. Manufacturers actually build a little metal tab in the brake pad that when the brake pad itself starts wearing down enough, that metal tab will start rubbing up against your rotor, which will cause a squealing sound. Once you hit this point, it's time to get your brake pads changed. If you do not do this, you're going to cause more wear and tear on your rotors, which will cause the repair bill in the future to double and even triple if you don't get it taken care of. Triple, I say, because at that point, brake pad could literally fall out. Now you're looking at a brake caliper as well. Don't wait until it's too late. Get that taken care of immediately. Um, the next warning sign is a vibration or pulsation while you're stopping. So let's say you're driving on the highway and you're going to take the exit ramp because, here in Ennis, coming south from Dallas, you want to stop at Whataburger, get you some fries and a Wrangler burger because we're right here in the good old state of Texas. Uh, and you hit that exit ramp and you start slowing down because they're doing construction there, and you start feeling a vibration in your steering wheel. A vibration in your steering wheel indicates that you have warping rotors in the front. Why in the front? Because your steer wheels, your steering tires are in the front. That's connected to your steering wheel. So whenever you're driving and you feel a vibration like this, you can literally feel it in your steering wheel, kind of shaking too sometimes. Uh, that is an indication that your rotors are warped. At that point, you need brake pads and rotors. There's no way around it. It has to be both. You can't just do brake pads on a warped rotor, because now you're going to damage those brand new brake pads and then you just wasted all that money. So you have to do both brake pads and rotors. If you feel it in your seat, you feel uh, you're exiting off of I-45 into Ennis and you're going to hit the Whataburger, and you feel your seat vibrating, um, that's an indication that your rotors are warping in the rear. So you need rear brake pads and rotors. There's no way around it. You have to have both. You can't do brake pads only. You can't do rotors only. Has to be both. Um, most places don't turn rotors anymore. Uh, Normally, the cost versus the time to do it does not mix. Uh, a brand new rotor may cost $50 to $60. To turn it may cost $25 to $30, and about an hour per rotor. Uh, Most places don't have the machine to turn rotors. We don't turn rotors. We replace them. Uh, I cannot tell you a shop that I know of that turns rotors. Um, the next warning sign is a soft or spongy brake pedal. If you have a soft or spongy brake pedal, this is likely an issue. It can be an issue with many things. It can be a brake master cylinder. It can be a brake booster issue. It can be a leak within the brake fluid lines. It could be a leak within your brake master cylinder, which is the not brake master cylinder. I'm sorry. A leak within the which that is also valid, but it could be a leak within the brake caliper itself, which holds and compresses your brake pads onto your rotors. Um, that could be very dangerous. Why? Because if you have vibrating brakes, at least you're going to stop. But if you have spongy brakes with a leak, that means that if you're going 60 miles an hour and you hit the brakes and you have a leak, the brake fluid that builds pressure inside of those lines is leaking out. So now you have no pressure for those calipers to compress the brake pads. What happens whenever you have no more pressure for the calipers to compress those brake pads? You won't stop. And that can cause for an accident, somebody to get hurt, and at minimum for your car to be damaged. And nobody wants that. That's a bad day. The next warning sign is a car that is pulling to one side. That could be the indication of a bad brake caliper. Your brake pads are sticking on one side. It could be, yeah, that's really it. Your brake pads are sticking to on one side, or your brake caliper is only compressing on one side. So it could be that this side is not compressing for some reason. It's got a clog, or the guide pins, the caliper slide pins aren't, on the last job, they weren't lubed properly. So now that caliper is seized. So it could be a number of things, but it's going to be something that is not working properly within your brake calipers. That needs to get looked at ASAP. What happens with your brake pads whenever that happens? What happens with your rotors whenever that happens? So if you have one side that is sticking and the other side that is not, you're going to have brake pads on your, let's say it's pulling to your right whenever you hit the brakes. That means that your brake pads on your left are not working. That wheel is still spinning, allowing your car to spin and keep going this way. So what happens is the actual material, your brake pads on this side are going to wear a lot faster than this side. So you're going to have a brake pad over here that is very, very, very thin, and a brake pad over here that's thick. At that point, brake pads need to be changed. Possibly the rotors need to be changed. If they're sticking, you're going to have heat rings. You're going to have heat marks, which are not good for the rotors. Extreme heat will cause cracking. And once you have cracking rotors, they're not that durable anymore. So that is one thing that you need to, take your vehicle to a reputable shop to have that taken care of. The last thing would be a brake light or a burning smell. A brake light could be a number of things. It could be something as simple as a sensor. It could be something as major as, you have no brake fluid in your braking system. If you have a leak somewhere, you're going to have a brake light on. But again, that is a warning sign, a brake light on. It could be a ABS sensor that's faulty, not necessarily just your brakes. It could be a number of things. It could be a brake switch, a brake pedal switch. All these things are issues that relate to your brakes that you should definitely look into taking your vehicle to a mechanic shop to get this looked at and taken care of. So if you're hearing any of these noises, feeling any of these vibrations, experiencing any of these warning signs, don't wait until your brakes fail. Bring your vehicle to us. We'll inspect your vehicle. We'll inspect your brakes. We'll let you know exactly what you need. If you're skeptical on what we tell you, we'll bring you out into the bay and we can show you so that you can experience it for yourself. What is actually wrong with your vehicle. I'm the owner of Limitless Automotive, Ennis, Texas. Our address is 205 East Denton Street, Ennis, Texas. Our phone number is 469-716-5578. Reach out to me or stop by if you have any questions. As always, like, subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, shoot me a DM on Facebook or at that phone number I just mentioned. Like this video, subscribe, share it, friends and family. This is one of many videos that we are going to be putting out. Thank you.